We all remember the legendary Chappelle Show skit. I spit hot fire. 5 simple words that turned Dylan into a meme before memes were even a thing.
Look, this is not what I got in the music business to be doing. To be a sugar cookie getter, you know, I'm a rapper. Who are the 5 best rappers of all time? Think about it. Dylan, and Dylan. Because I spit hot fire.
The top 5 rappers are Dylan. I'm well experienced. I never said that. This is I'm legend now. I'm up for what you just did, and you're not answering the phone.
So once again, I'm standing in front of Daddy's house, and I said, let's not do that. I know people at Def Jam. We can get a deal elsewhere. So I said that they're not gonna even see the Cheesecake Walk. We don't have to do it. But nobody listens to Dylan.
But behind the laughs was a career that never took off, and a man who still hasn't forgiven the people he thinks destroyed it. Now Dylan is breaking his silence, not just on Dave Chappelle, but on Diddy, making the band, and the twisted power games that broke him.
Yo fam, Puffy just told us to go to the store in Brooklyn and bring him back a cheesecake and walk.
And the wildest part? He's defending the very man who humiliated him on national TV while calling out the one person who tried to warn us. The story behind the meme is darker than anyone expected, because what looked like comedy might have been a cry for help. Before he was a joke, Dylan DeLinja was hungry. Fresh out of Brooklyn, he stepped into making the band too with one thing on his mind: rap greatness. He wasn't just talented, he had that raw, unpredictable energy that made him impossible to ignore. But this wasn't your average talent show. This was Diddy's world, and Diddy made it clear from day one. He wasn't building artists, he was building soldiers. Walk across Manhattan for cheesecake? Done. Get screamed at, embarrassed, broken down? That was just the beginning.
That was good. So, y'all gotta get naked, you know?
But Dylan stood out. Not for his bars, but for his fire.
So what is happening in Hollywood? Nobody knows. Maybe the environment is a little sick.
His ego, his chaos. And that's exactly why Dave Chappelle zeroed in. When Chappelle's show dropped that skit, I Spit Hot Fire, Dylan became instantly iconic. People who had never watched Making the Band knew his name. He was a meme before viral was even a word. This should have changed everything. Free publicity, national exposure. Most artists would have dropped an album, booked every radio show, done collabs left and right, but Dylan did nothing. No follow-up, no rollout, no reinvention, and fans started wondering, was the fire real or just smoke? But here's the twist. Dave wasn't just making fun of Dylan, he was warning us. And we didn't realize it until it was too late.
You gotta keep going.
And bitterness is quite cumbersome.
Yeah, it's bad for you.
Right, so jokes is a way of shaking that off or processing something with the alchemy of levity.
Yeah.
At first, people thought Diddy was just being tough, a perfectionist, a boss who wanted results. But then came the humiliation, and it was all on camera. He wasn't just challenging contestants, he was breaking them. There's this one clip, burned into every fan's memory, where Diddy shuts down the studio in a fit of rage. I tried to talk to y'all, I don't know what else to do. Anything else is going to be an altercation. The room goes cold. No one moves. You can feel the fear.
Disrespectful. When you picking your hair, you know you picking your hair, man. When you sucking your thumb, you know you sucking your thumb. I tried to come talk to y'all. I don't know what else to do, because anything else is going to be an altercation. I'm shutting down the studio.
I'm really thinking that this is over with. We done put our foot up our ass. It's a wrap.
And that wasn't a one-off. Weird, degrading challenges kept happening. Walk miles across NYC for cheesecake, sleep in the studio, battle your own bandmates for the spotlight. This wasn't about music. It was about control. Even when the cameras weren't rolling, insiders said Diddy's treatment of the artists was disturbing. Constant gaslighting, emotional whiplash, public shaming. And somehow, the worse he treated them, the more the audience tuned in. It was reality TV gold. But for the people inside that house, it was psychological warfare. especially for Dylan, who was already spiraling. But Diddy wasn't finished yet, because next came the body shaming, the obsession with looks, and the alleged exploitation of the women. If you thought the Cheesecake Walk was bad, it gets so much darker. Because what Diddy did to the women on Making the Band, that wasn't tough love. It was power tripping on camera. There's a clip of Diddy looking straight at one of the girls and saying, "What's your stomach look like for real? You feeling a little sick?" Everyone laughs nervously, but you can see the pain on her face. He called another contestant pleasantly plump in front of the whole group, mocked their hair, makeup, clothes, tore them down piece by piece.
You, Andrea, you look pleasantly plump here. But in person, you don't really look like this. I don't know if it's the way the picture was taken.
Because the traffic cop.
But also your hair, some of the hairstyles that I've seen, you look overly glamorous. Like where it's just a lot of hair. It's a lot of fake hair, a lot of fake eyelashes, a lot of makeup. And we'll get to you in a second with that, Aubrey. But I think the most drastic makeover is you, Aubrey. The reason why I wanted you to be in the group was because you had this natural hometown girl type of vibe, you know? And I've seen more hair on you than even, like, I didn't even know they sold this much hair. That's my feelings and thoughts on it. You have anything to say there on it? I feel y'all should be one fierce group, not just from a singing standpoint, but from a fashion standpoint.
Juanita, what's your stomach looking like? For real, are you feeling a little sick?
It's no secret, I'm built differently than these other girls. And if he didn't see that before, he really sees it now because it's 1 against 4. I'm a thick girl on the bottom. I'm working out, I'm running. I always feel thick next to these skinny chicks.
You're like a burger away.
D, words, you okay? This is not a new struggle for me. This has been a lifelong thing. It's genetics.
But here's the deal. You in a group.
I'm in a group with other skinny chicks, so it's like...
That's all right. We didn't put a group together of skinny chicks.
And then there's Aubrey O'Day, the one who dared to push back. She was framed as the diva, the problem, the one who wouldn't listen. But now fans are looking back and realizing she wasn't the problem. She was the only one fighting back. And that made her a target. Diddy would single her out during group meetings, grilling her about her appearance, her attitude, even her intentions. Do you want to look like a Playboy playmate? Why do you like big hair and makeup so much? Except, she didn't. She had no say in the styling, the image, the narrative, and still, she was blamed.
You want to show all your skin, you want to be naked, but the whole concept of Danity Kane was like, when it comes together, it's one.
Puff's going hard on the group, and then all of a sudden he singles me out and starts going on and on about how unhappy he is with me, and I just feel like nothing that I do, he's ever happy with.
Can I ask a question? What do you want to look like, though? Do you want to look like a Playboy playmate? Do you want to look like you?
I'm done with all of that.
No. Like, what do you want to look like, though?
I'll tell you.
What do you want to look like, though?
I'll tell you.
You like big hair, though.
I don't like big hair.
You do like big hair. You like big hair. You like a lot of makeup and all that.
Actually, I don't. I don't like big hair. I don't like certain makeup. I'm very flexible with what you want to do, and I've worked with everything that you've thrown at me.
I'm not seeing the flexibility. You gaming me.
Your hair people came in today, and they said this is how it needs to be.
You know
Behind the scenes, allegedly, it got even worse. Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, dropped a bombshell, claiming Diddy had plans to get the girls hooked on substances and push them into creepy situations with industry execs, free-offs, parties, exploitation. It wasn't just controlling, it was predatory.
But there's some artists that didn't say anything, that didn't sign it, and they able to talk about anything they want to. And I think that's those girls that was, I think, Danity Kane.
And suddenly, Making the Band didn't feel like a show. It felt like a trap. And Dylan, he was watching it all. He lived it. But when the world finally started calling Diddy out, Dylan didn't join them. He did something no one expected.
A sugar cookie, man. Y'all not working like a team. I gotta shut the studio down, yo. All right, the only way I open the studio up now, y'all gotta walk uptown to the Bronx and get breast milk from a Cambodian immigrant. I only drink the finest breast milks. Go out and milk Cambodia. It's 100% Cambodian, yeah? It's the real shit. Breast milk, you made my day.
When Diddy's empire started to crumble, when lawsuits started piling up, when everyone from Cassie to producers to bodyguards started breaking their silence, people expected Dylan to speak out too. He was one of Diddy's most public victims, humiliated, undermined, forgotten. But instead of backing the survivors, Dylan turned around and defended Diddy. In a recent interview with The Art of Dialogue, Dylan shocked fans by calling everyone speaking out cowards. He said if people had a real issue with Diddy, they should have handled it back then.
If you have a problem with somebody, you came back to the block, I said, yo, so-and-so did something to me. I'm gonna say, then what did you do? And where is he now? Why is it that everybody and their mother have something to say 20 years later or now that the man is incarcerated? I'm not beef with no man in jail. Y'all really did this. And you, I blame you, mighty no man. You know, I get away. You're not getting away. Because I blame you because you are giving these people a platform to talk about stories that they should have handled then.
And that waiting until now, while Diddy's locked in legal chaos, was clout chasing. Fans were floored. It sounded like victim blaming, like he was more upset at the people finally talking than at the man who tore his dreams apart on national TV. But here's the wild part. Dylan was angry, just not at Diddy. He saved his real smoke for someone else, Dave Chappelle. Yup, Dave, the comedian who made Dylan a household meme, the man who gave him viral fame.
This is not what I got in the music business to be doing, to be a sugar cookie getter. You know, I'm a rapper. We're the 5 best rappers of all time. Think about it. Dylan, and Dylan. Because I spit hot fire.
The top 5 rappers are Dylan. I'm well experienced. I never said that. Now, again, we could talk about the joke all day, but this is We Are Flatbush. And I gave you my history. So let's talk for real. When they did that, when comedians do these jokes, they say something that you said, and then they bust it and put it in their own way. But this is something that I didn't say at all. So I have no control over this. You said I'm top 5 rappers. You said I spit hot fire. I'm over here as a kid saying, what are they talking about?
And Dylan went in. He accused Dave of mocking him, ruining his brand, and leaving him behind. He even said, if your intentions were positive, why didn't you ever link with me? I wasn't asking for money, just a call, a drop, a show.
I don't want to say but, and if your intentions when you created the line and created the joke, if your intentions were positive, then why no linkage since? Why no need? I've tried when I was younger, not nowadays, because I could care less, but back then, I wanted to know, like, yo, let's link up. You doing shows? I DJ, everyone knows that. I DJ fetes, I DJ bacchanal, I DJ backyard parties, I DJ weddings, I DJ clubs, I DJ events for 2,500 people. You understand? I was a Ciroc Boys DJ and a Ciroc ambassador, all of that. You know, taking the brands, but we're gonna speak about that as well. The fact is, damn, I can't DJ to open up. You can't even link up, like, I need a drop. Hey, this is David Chappelle listening to Dylan Dilly on Fubu Radio, like nothing. So when people do things, you have to check the intention. Why is it that there's a disconnect? You know what I'm saying? Like if If you wanted me to do great from it, then where was the connection? I should be able to call. People would assume that's like, what? You did a mockery of me, you know. You took my personality and my image. I'm not asking for a dime. I don't need $1 from you. But yo, dog, how you been?
To Dylan, it wasn't a joke, it was a betrayal. But the internet wasn't buying it. Because if Dave was the problem, why did Dylan spend years chasing a cosign from him? And why is he silent about the man who actually controlled his career? Here's where it gets messy. Because while Dylan was calling out Dave Chappelle for not helping, he was also listing off every brand deal, club gig, and event he's done since, from DJing Cyrock-sponsored parties to being a self-proclaimed Cyrock ambassador. You know, Diddy's liquor brand. So now fans are asking, wait, were you still working with Diddy after everything? Because how do you go from saying he manipulated you to proudly repping his company? Some people think Dylan was never able to escape the bad boy system. Others think he's protecting himself, or even hiding something darker. Because here's what we know. Multiple insiders, including Diddy's ex-bodyguard, allege that Diddy used substances, parties, and manipulation to control his artists. Gene Deal even claimed Diddy had twisted plans involving young women on making the band, with unthinkable setups for industry elites. And Aubrey O'Day, the only one who dared to speak up, was painted as the villain, just like Dylan was. So now fans are looking at Dylan differently. Because what if he knows more than he's saying? What if his silence isn't loyalty? It's self-protection? And what if his anger at Dave Chappelle isn't really about a joke, but about misplaced guilt over how far he let things go? That one interview opened way more questions than answers. And the contradictions, they keep stacking. So, where is Dylan Dalinja now? Well, depending on who you ask, he's either making a quiet comeback or desperately trying to rewrite the past.
I'm legend now. I'm up for what you just did, and you're not answering the phone. So everybody said, oh, you're boss now, man. You've gone through, man. You make it. How? At that time, no one picking up their phone, not a one label. You had to sign to a record label, not one label. And I know all of them, so I'm calling them direct. That joke, gone by. That joke took over.
He's been popping up in random interviews, DJing weddings, clubs, and Caribbean fates, and claiming he was once a Ciroc ambassador, which, again, ties right back to Diddy. But here's the wildest part. Dylan's still not calling out Diddy directly, even after all the lawsuits, even after Cassie's allegations, even after multiple victims describe disturbing patterns of control, coercion, and abuse. Instead, he's going after commentators, calling out YouTubers, blaming Dave Chappelle, and fans have noticed. One person said, "You had the chance to speak when it mattered. Now you're just spinning." Another asked, "If Diddy really broke you down like that, why are you still scared to name him?" And maybe the darkest theory? Some believe Dylan is still under contract in ways we don't see, that he can't say the full truth, or something far worse could happen. It's a chilling idea. But this industry has buried more than just careers. And with everything now coming to light, from lawsuits to leaked files to former artists breaking their silence, fans are starting to wonder, was Dylan silenced or complicit? Because you can't call someone family while also accusing them of destroying your life. You can't blame jokes for your fall when the real power was held by the man signing your checks, and you can't ask for sympathy when you're still protecting the very machine that chewed you up. But here's what's undeniable. The Dylan from making the band is gone. And what's left is a man still trying to make peace with a past that haunts him. He may never get the closure he's looking for. But the rest of us, we're watching this all unfold and realizing that what looked like reality TV was really just a trap. But Dylan's not the only one who's gone silent. Another celeb linked to Diddy is now facing a twist no one saw coming. And what they're saying behind the scenes could blow this entire story wide open. Click here to watch that full expose before it disappears.